Welcome to True Crime Stories. Let's look at the facts of this case.
Brianna Denison was 19 years old, home in Reno for winter break, and she had told her mother exactly where she would be that night. She had made a list, the events she was going to, the friend's house where she would end up. Brianna was, by every account from people who knew her, the security-conscious one in the group. The one who locked doors, who checked in, who did everything right. In the early hours of January 20th, 2008, she fell asleep on a friend's couch on McKay Court, 2 blocks from the University of Nevada, Reno. By 4:30 that morning, she was gone. What her friend KT Hunter found when she woke up was the absence of a person and the presence of a single, very specific clue. Brianna's phone was still there. Her purse was still there. Her clothes, her shoes, every single belonging, all of it sitting in the living room exactly where she had left it. The only thing missing was Brianna. And on the pillow where she had been sleeping, a forensic stain that matched her own. When Reno police arrived, the homicide detective on scene, Dave Jenkins, said it was immediately clear this was not a voluntary disappearance. The pillows showed what looked like bite marks pressed into the fabric. Someone had forced Brianna's face down hard before taking her. Whoever it was had walked into a house with multiple people inside, taken a young woman off a couch in the living room, and left without waking anyone else. Within hours, the FBI was on the case. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children joined the next day. And as detectives began canvassing the neighborhood, they found something that turned the investigation in a very specific direction. Touch DNA on the back doorknob of the house. Male, unknown. Then the lab ran it through the database, and it matched. The DNA on the doorknob matched a sexual assault kit from a previous attack near the UNR campus. A 22-year-old foreign exchange student, December 16, 2007, just over a month before Brianna disappeared. She had been grabbed in a parking lot, a hand pressed over her mouth. And when she came to, she was in a vehicle being assaulted. Her attacker had told her not to look at his face, but she had given investigators what she could. A white male. Thick, what she described as meaty fingers. No accent. A 2005 or 2006 Toyota Tacoma extended cab pickup. And one detail that would matter enormously later, he had kept her underwear. A second DNA link tied the same person to a November 13th attempted assault. A third potential victim, from October 2007, came forward after the news broke. She had been attacked at gunpoint in a campus parking garage and had never reported it. The pattern detectives were now looking at was a serial offender operating in a single square mile around the university for at least 4 months. Quiet, methodical, escalating. The community response was unlike anything Reno had seen. Around 1,700 volunteers searched a 100-square-mile area. Blue ribbons reading "Got Bry" went up across the city. Nevada's First Lady, Dawn Gibbons, joined the searches personally. The Washoe County Crime Lab had a backlog of 3,000 offender DNA samples. The private sector raised $150,000 in days to clear it. On February 15, 2008, a man named Albert Jimenez was walking back from his lunch break at a Subway restaurant in South Reno. He noticed bright orange fabric in a pile of discarded tree limbs by the road. The orange was socks. The socks were attached to feet. The autopsy the next day confirmed it was Brianna. She had been strangled. 2 pairs of underwear were found with her. One belonged to her, one did not. The one that didn't carry DNA from an unknown female. Investigators believed it had been left there deliberately. A signature, a calling card from a previous victim, placed with the current one. For 9 months, more than 2,200 tips came in. None of them named the right person. And then, on November 1st, 2008, an anonymous woman called the secret witness tip line. She said she knew the girlfriend of a man named James Biela. The girlfriend had told her, months earlier, that she had found a pair of women's underwear in his truck. He had told her he had stolen them from a woman at a laundromat. He had left Nevada abruptly in March, right as the police composite went public, and sold his Toyota Tacoma during the drive to Washington State. The arrest came 24 days later. Detective Adam Vignansky had approached James Biela on November 7th and asked for a saliva swab to rule him out. Biela refused. Vignansky noted the obvious. Biela was visibly nervous, would not make eye contact, and matched the physical description from the December assault. So investigators went sideways. They asked Biela's girlfriend if they could take a DNA sample from her 4-year-old son. She agreed. The child's DNA was tested against the evidence from Brianna's case. Biela, as the biological father, could not be excluded. That was enough for a warrant. He was taken into custody on November 25th as he picked his son up from preschool. 6 hours later, the lab returned a direct match to the crime scenes. What investigators learned about him next was, in some ways, the most unsettling part. Biela had no record. He was a 27-year-old pipe fitter, a former Marine, the father of a young child. He had lived in Reno since 2002, at one point on Gypsum Road, a 5-minute drive from McKay Court. He had worked construction on buildings on the UNR campus. He was, in the precise words used by police, unobtrusive. He stalked quietly, and he escalated. In May of 2010, after 9 hours of deliberation, a Washoe County jury convicted Biela on all counts: kidnapping, sexual assault, and the homicide of Brianna Denison. The defense argued his abusive childhood, his service record, and his behavior as a model prisoner should spare him. The jury sentenced him to death. 2 months later, Judge Robert Perry added 4 consecutive life sentences for the assaults on the other 2 victims. The question this case keeps raising, in academic papers, in cold case training, in conversations among investigators, is what would have happened if the October 2007 victim had reported her assault, or if the campus parking garage incident had been processed faster. 3 women were attacked before Brianna. The pattern was there. The vehicle description was there. The forensic profile was there. So here is the question worth sitting with. When a serial offender is operating in a tight geographic area and escalating, what does it actually take, beyond a tip line, beyond volunteers, beyond a community in crisis, to interrupt the pattern before the next attack? Drop your answer in the comments.